I'm home. And I really, 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 really like Honolulu. Like I could live there.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh, yeah. The more I'm not there, the more I miss it.
Aw.
In fact, my wife she's still there. She's there for a couple more days, and she texted me pictures. She was at this mall. I think I told you guys it's the world's largest outdoor mall, and I never spent time shopping there. She's there shopping now, and she says this is so overwhelming, so much anxiety. She found an Oreo restaurant.
What?
A
That's pretty cool.
a restaurant that's like all Oreos.
Simple menu.
Yeah. Anyway, I got to tell you guys something. So I have to tell you about Kyle's date night.
What?
Let me tell you what happened.
Tell me about my date
Your
night?
date night. So I come home, I land, right? And I'm waiting for a cab. And I'm in the cab and I go to my Instagram stories and I see Kyle posted something. So I click on it and Kyle's like, a date night, right? With your husband. Mm-hmm. And she's walking in some restaurant and I've never seen that restaurant before. I don't know it. So I click on it and it's right by my house. So part of me thinks, hey, I'm going to go pop in on her date night.
That's funny.
Because it's just me and Dutch, right? Dutch and I are coming home. And then Dutch is already, as soon as we get to the house, he's like, I'm out. I got plans. So I'm by myself. And I'm like, where is this restaurant that Kyle's at? And it's like literally by my house. I've never heard of it before. So I Google the restaurant and I decide I'm not going to bother her on date night. So I make a reservation for Dutch and I to go eat there. And I'm really nervous because I've never been there before. And I'm nervous because it's just Dutch and I. I make a reservation to go there last night at 5. And Dutch and I go to the gym at 3:30 and we're in shorts and flip-flops. And I go, steam, shave and all this stuff. I'm like, hey, we got to go. The reservation's at 5. And I think this is a brand new place. It's probably slammed. We're not dressed right. So I call over there. I ask what the dress code is. And I'm like, dude, we're in shorts and T-shirt and flip-flops. Can we get in? And the lady's like, it's 5. I'm sure it's going to be fine. I'm like, okay. And I'm really nervous about it. But we park and we go in and I'm like, I've never seen this place before. And it's right by my house. It must have just opened. So I sit down, order food. And I'm like, by the way, when did you guys open? And they say 5 years ago.
We asked the same thing because I'm like, this place is so cool. I've never seen anyone come here before. And I'm like, hey, did you guys like just open? He's like, no, I've been here about 5 years. It used to be a Forever 21. I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, I live down the street. I go, how has this place been open 5 years? I go, if it wasn't for the person I work with posting it, I would have never found out about this place.
I know, and it was really good. I don't know if you guys enjoyed your dinner, but we really enjoyed it.
We were in and out in 45 minutes. I mean, I didn't want to sit there and dine, because then I realized the VMAs were on, and I was like, oh God, I got to go run home and see the VMAs. And then I did. We ran home and I caught the VMAs, and it was okay. But then I had to go flip over to go see I started watching the Game of Thrones thing, the Game of Thrones show. Episode 1, I watched, right? And I liked that. You get a little hint of the their theme throughout the show. But then when episode 2 started, it started with the theme.
It's back.
Like the actual theme. And I thought, it's a totally different show. They shouldn't have the theme. They should have a different version of the theme. But then I thought, it's a kick-ass theme.
Yeah. What are they going to do? If they played a different jam at the beginning, you'd be like, that's not Game of Thrones.
Well, it's a different show, so I thought it would be. Like, if you watch any other spin-off or whatever, they have a different theme song.
But it was interesting to look at, too. Whatever they did with the blood running down the castle walls and all that. It was cool. I like the show. I feel like they're making up for the last season of Game of Thrones, which was hot garbage, by the way, the very last season of Game of Thrones. I feel like they're getting us into something that you can enjoy the way you enjoyed Game of Thrones when it first started.
Well, the first episode of the spinoff of Game of Thrones, it took me a while. The first 15 minutes, I turned it off, and I was like, man, I can't get into this. And then I went back to spend more time on it. It's just like Game of Thrones. There's 5,000 characters you got to get to know.
Well, I got to kill them all in the first season. Got to have a lot of characters.
And it's like, do you really need to get to know them if they're all going to die?
That's right.
I'm waiting. I'm like, all right, that's exactly how I'm watching. I'm like, okay, are they going to kill this guy off? But one of the stars, Kyle, I'm watching it, I'm like, boy, that guy looks familiar. And I really like this guy. Who is he? And I haven't confirmed it yet, but I'm pretty sure he played a young Prince Philip in The Crown. And I really liked him in The Crown. Yeah.
So random.
Pretty sure.
See, he's gone on to run a kingdom.
That's good, right? Yeah,
by the way, quick Game of Thrones thing. So this Game of Thrones prequel takes place 170 years before Game of Thrones, right? And then I watched the making of it, too, and they're like, back in that time, they didn't do this. Back in that time, and I'm like, the creators are acting like this is real, right? So then if I go with the way they're talking, 200 years is a lot. And if you go by our time, we've had a lot of innovation in 200 years.
Yeah.
Right?
iPhone.
And over there, 200 years, it's the same. Nothing's happened as far as technology goes in Game of Thrones.
Nope.
They're still sending ravens out. They're still using little cutouts of ships and stuff. And I'm like, here, I was going to say, iPhone. Like in here, if you go by the telephone in 200 years, you didn't have a telephone. Then you had the telephone. Then you had a payphone. Then you had the house phone. Then you had the Motorola Flip Tech, whatever. Then you had a BlackBerry. Then you got an iPhone. All in 200 years. Game of Thrones, nothing's changed. They're sending ravens out.
Yep.
Like-
Bath time's still the same with the servants. They dress the same.
They're still chopping off heads.
Yeah, they still do the same kind of jousting.
Same weapons? I mean, you would think even that would
Right.
sort
No,
of
everybody
change.
still wants the Valerian steel. They all still want the same stuff.
Dragons. By the way, get back to what I was saying. How was the date night?
Our date night was really good. It was actually to celebrate our anniversary, which, if you guys remember, like when our anniversary actually happened, I was just recovering from surgery. So what I had really imagined for our 10-year anniversary, that's a big one. Like, let's go on a tropical vacation. Let's make the most of it. Let's make a big deal out of it. And like what we did was we went to the secondhand golf store. And while we're there, I go, you know what? This is how you celebrate 10 years of marriage. This right here. Then we went to the mall to pick up my niece's birthday present. And as we're there, I said, this is how you celebrate 10 years of marriage right here. Then we went to Starbucks and we sat down in the really crowded mall, which, by the way, I had no idea how many people went to the mall anymore, but it was like Christmas time.
Malls are back.
Packed.
Yeah.
Malls are back.
I was like, what are all these people doing here? But this right here is how you celebrate 10 years of marriage. Not a tropical vacation to Bora Bora.
No.
No.
Anybody
This
can do
right
that.
Here.
That's maybe 11.
And my mom was nice enough to come down and she stayed with the kids and we had a little staycation. But then it's like, I woke up at 7 and I don't know why. And I was like so mad. I'm like, you know what? This right here is how you celebrate 10 years of marriage.
Did you do a staycation at a hotel?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
I
fun.
know. It was like a big treat for us because we don't really get out much. So to get out and stay over somewhere, we were like, you know what? This is how you celebrate 10 years of marriage.
How did you guys find that restaurant that I went to? Like, how?
Honestly, we were at the hotel and we were like, should we just eat here at the hotel or should we just eat somewhere around here? And I just like Googled like good experience restaurants.
Good experience restaurant.
I wanted like a little more of an experience. Like we didn't want to go to like Chili's. I love Chili's, but like we could go to Chili's any day, and we would go to Chili's any day. But yeah, no. And it's called Hand Cut Chop House. It was really cool. It was a very unique place.
Yeah,
But
I
just
was trying
Google.
to figure out why. Because there's a place I go for breakfast. We go almost every Sunday called Prep and Pastry. It's right there.
It's right there.
I've never seen this place.
I know.
It's the
I
same,
know.
I parked in the same spot.
You're probably used to it being a Forever 21.
I parked in the same spot that I go to Prep and Pastry that I went to this place. And I'm like, how have I not seen this place? It's so weird.